Welcome to the 2022 Canadian Under-18 Curling Championships here at the Oakville Curling Club. My name is Danielle Inglis, and I'm joined in the booth this afternoon by Morris Wilson.
Hi, Danielle.
We have our feature matchup today on the ice. It is Team Northwest Territories taking on Team Newfoundland and Labrador. Both teams coming in at 0-2 and searching for their first win. And we'll get to know the teammates as we go. Our game is currently underway. And by virtue of the last stone draw is Team Newfoundland and Labrador with the hammer.
Territory's first draw just slipped a little back of the tee line.
We have throwing lead stones for Team Newfoundland Labrador, Jack Furlong. He's also a very accomplished player. He's been curling for 7 years, and in those 7 years already competed at 2 Under-18 championships, including a second place finish in 2022. Also a league champion back in 2021. Throwing lead stones for Team Northwest Territories, we have Tazir Bouyan. He competed at the World Junior Qualifier in Saskatoon this past November and has 2 previous national championship experiences under his belt. We'd like everyone to know, too, that his parents are amazing cooks.
Yeah, I saw that. Lucky him.
Good shot, Thea. Normal.
And some of these young guys building quite a resume at a young age.
You can see here something that's unique if you're just joining us for the first time on watching this event is that they have the coaches on the ice too. As you could see coach for Newfoundland Labrador, Greg Smith in the background there. And we'll talk a little bit later on in the broadcast about the coach's role out there and your role as well, Morris, here, because it's really unique and neat for this championship.
Yeah, you're going to see quite a few things being allowed now that weren't allowed before. So with the coaches being down here, and it's fairly narrow confines on the backboards here, but you will see them allowed to stand on the ice back behind the hack or behind the house, at least. And it used to be the officials would be getting on your case if you set a toe on the ice, let alone both feet. So they are making it flexible, and we'll talk at a later time too about the upcoming changes that are in place that will be introduced into U18 next season and U21 as well.
Very exciting for all the opportunities that they have at younger and younger age too.
Yes, for sure. It's all to try to help to promote learning in the game. So changes do need to be made. We look at how other sports interactions that take place between the coach and the athletes during in-game time are occurring. And in curling, unfortunately, we've been stuck behind the glass, and unless you call a timeout or your fourth or fifth end breaks, that's kind of the only time you have to interact with your athletes. Now, that said, I'm a big believer that proper preparation should make it that you don't need to have that many interactions during game as well. So.
But a little bit of both, try it out, see what happens,
That's right? Yep.
Throwing second stones for Northwest Territories team is Sean Dragon. Also competed at the World Junior Qualifier and has 2 previous national championship experiences. And also a fun fact is that his uncle was in junior curling with Kevin Cooey.
All the way.
An early miss. We do have very curly ice out here.
He just slid tight.
Something that the teams and the players are still getting used to in some cases.
We noticed a bit of that in this morning's game as well, too, that Saskatchewan this morning had a little trouble getting a handle on the ice in the first end with a lot of half shots.
So Luke Wilson second for Team Newfoundland Labrador. Chance to split the house.
Going down.
Gotta curl. It's not
Back
curling.
8.
Curl it. Okay.
Luke's been
It's not
curling
at
for
all.
6 years. He's a former hockey player.
It's really not curling.
And his fun fact is that Mark Nichols is his former
I think
neighbor.
we're sitting. Yeah, you are. I think.
Nice neighbor to have.
No. It's not even positive. Yeah. Still in though.
Again, both teams still feeling out the ice here in the first end. Just out of the rings.
Normal.
This will be some redemption for Team Northwest Territories. It'll be third, Adam Nogler up. And he has played in nationals when he was 12 years old and has had 6 previous national championship experiences. Both Adam's mom and dad, Carl.
And Mom's the coach. Mom is the coach.
Hey, on its own.
Absolutely. And it looks like he said he built a cabin. So I wonder if that was all by himself. It was a family project. To find out later.
Good shot, Adam.
Nice feet. Nice feet. Even with that one, I had a pretty positive release. It looked like you were really
Throwing third rocks for Team Newfoundland Labrador, Caleb Tibbs.
Yeah. Hard.
Also
Hard.
has been curling since he was 5 years old, so makes it his 11th season of curling.
This goes out to T.
Also a multi-sport athlete who plays basketball in the summer.
just normal again.
That shot moved nicely coming off the center line, which is, I'm sure that both teams are keeping a close eye on just how the ice is reacting.
We've got great ice surface out here. Gotta give some kudos to Scott Foster and his crew out here.
Very experienced ice makers.
And they've got their hands full today with 5 draws, so they're working as quick as they can, and they're doing a full scrape between each draw too. So kudos to all their hard work this week.
Good sweeping.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
I think the other neat thing about this championship, we mentioned on other broadcasts, you'll see we've got Northwest Territories 1, Team Newfoundland and Labrador 2, that there's 42 teams competing here this week, and in some cases, some of the provinces and territories have multiple teams here.
Hard, all the way.
So we talk about giving more opportunities to young curlers, and this is one of the ways that Curling Canada is doing so.
Yes, and this U18 national championship has been shut down for the past couple of years too, because of COVID. So, this is a great opportunity now for these young athletes, most of them to probably experience, majority of them probably experience it for the very first time.
Yeah. Okay. You got that.
Throwing skip rocks for Team Northwest Territories, Julian Bowling competed at that World Junior Qualifier in November, 3 previous national championships experience. And despite his last name, he does not bowl.
Clean down! Whoa! Shazir! Hard to zero. Hard to zero. Clean. Nice throw.
Great weight control on that rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind that. It's clear.
And we're seeing a pretty open first end, much like we did in this morning's contest as well.
Both teams starting off with 30 minutes of thinking time for the 8 ends of play.
you say it's
Sometimes a strategy we see quite often, especially at the younger age group, to try to bank some time, get used to the ice.
Yep.
And not to mention 2 90-second timeouts with their coach. Throwing skip rocks for Team Newfoundland Labrador, Liam Quinlan, who is runner-up at the 2022 Newfoundland Under-18, that in 2020. and won the St. John's Intercity League back in 2021.
Right all the way.
And he's also a black belt in Taekwondo.
Uh-oh.
Don't mess with him.
Uh-huh.
That her down? Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
So throughout the games, we'll be updating you on the other sheets in play. There are 6 other sheets out here. But make sure that if you want to follow along with the live scores, go to curling.ca/scoreboard and you'll be able to watch all of the rest of the line scores as they're coming in. And note that 3 of the games started a few minutes behind due to the time crunch. So if you're not seeing your favorite team's line score up there, that's the reason why.
Any roll, any roll, any roll, any roll. Roll it, roll it.
Good shot.
We were trying to roll from the other side.
So with this, Team Newfoundland Labrador looking for the blank with their last rock to retain the hammer into the second.
Heel for blank. Bit less. No, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Trying to blank or?
Just blank, yeah.
Okay.
Last rock of the first end. Team Newfoundland Labrador looking for the blank.
Please, whoa, curl it, curl it.
And that will go right by. So a steal of 1 for Team Northwest Territories to kick off our game.
Yeah, I think I pointed it out, yeah.
And you can see that just wide on the release and barely fit a paper by that one.
Just wait, too. Just up, right?
Now,
That weight, it certainly didn't move very much.
Yeah.
something that the young players are still learning about ice, that it does curl, but also when you up that weight, it can run straight.
Very weight sensitive.
Absolutely. And they are only playing their 3rd game here and learning as they go.
Yeah, when Andrew and I were doing the game this morning, we were commenting on both Saskatchewan and Northern Ontario how impressed we were with the maturity of the calls, with the weight selections that they were picking at that time. And we saw very few up weight shots like that being made. That they tried to put it in the hands of the sweeper.
Yeah, they're very impressed as well with the sweeping we're seeing out here from all of the players. It speaks to just how much work the players and the coaches are putting on.
Well, you know very well, Danielle, just how many opportunities young curlers get now with the next gen programs nationally and provincially, with the high performance camps, with the summer camps that go on, and the training that the coaches and the dedication that they're putting into it, and then working with the young athletes, and what a difference that can make to their development even at this young age.
Yeah, huge. The more opportunity you get to work with coaches, mentor coaches, people who specify in there, whether it's sweeping or sports psych, it really makes an impact down the road.
Yeah.
Make sure it's there.
Luke.
And so, Morris, this is a great opportunity actually to talk about your role here as the national mentor coach. So you've been brought in for a purpose to not just sit in the commentary booth and give us your wonderful thoughts, but also to be working with the coaches.
Yeah, I was told that might be one of my duties, so and I'm doing that today. Yeah, so it's kind of this is my first year doing this, and
Halfway.
so there's kind of a lot of different hats that wear through the course of the week. We are having professional development sessions back in the coaches' lounge at the hotel. We had 2 yesterday. We're having 2 again tomorrow and 2 on Thursday, in which the coaches, and not only coaches but parents that are here attending that are coaches, they are welcome to attend as well, and they can earn professional development points towards their coaching certification. That's one job. The other one would be if I'm helping to give advice when asked to coaches and athletes, parents as well, during the course of the week. Try to help make this experience as worthwhile and easy for them as possible. Also coordinating the players and coaches' lounges back at the hotel.
That's great.
And meeting people as they go along. And it could be a bit of a challenge with 42 teams here. So.
One of you and 42 of them. Yeah. But it is neat because it's great to see that development of coaches as well, because a lot of the coaches are learning right along with the players. Coaching as a player, every level you play up to, and whether you get to your provincial or territorial, your national championship, it's another step up, and same for coaches. So
Absolutely.
you're constantly learning and growing. So great to have you here.
Well, thank you. It's good to be here. And nice working with you again. Danielle and I, history goes back a while. I did coach her when she was at university at Wilfrid Laurier. So.
Just a couple years ago.
Yeah. And we have worked a number of camps together as well. So.
Yes. It's so great to have the curling back now, too, and to have people back on the ice in camps, learning curling. Even just here, you can just not only feel the energy, see the smiles on people's faces. You've got Sheet 8 is packed with fans over on the side. And even just when you run into people, just say how excited they are to be back.
Yeah. And wonderful meeting people from right across Canada that have made the long journey to Oakville in order to take part in this national event that has been put on the back burner for a few years. Yeah.
COVID's done some strange things. Curling's only one of many sports that it's affected, but some of the things Curling Canada has done to be able to even keep curling going, such as the bubble last year, it's just something that no other amateur sport can say. And yes, they weren't able to run every single championship, but certainly tried best to bring it back as soon as possible.
Yes.
No roll.
And we're having a fairly open end, although we do have a long center guard out there.
So we were talking yesterday about the guard placement on this ice when it curls so much, and do need to be more precise in terms of how tight it is to the rings. We want to keep it a little bit tighter rather than up, because with the amount of curls you can use a back weight, backline hack to get rid of them if the guard is too high, even if it's fully buried.
Yeah, it does seem to be, it's about 4 to 4.5 feet of curl on this sheet, and I have watched a number of games on other sheets and seems to be consistently that way. Now, it's not a real crazy finish to it, but certainly from the hog line in, you have a nice steady finish that's pretty easy to read. And but I think it's a good point you made too, that when you're for guard placement, you may need to have some real good shot management early in the sweep to maintain, maybe delay the break point a little longer than usual. So.
Absolutely.
Be able to get rid of ours pretty easily.
So as you can see, that rock got buried right in behind, but the call is for a little tap. And that's very much so in play with where the guard is.
Probably playing something pretty close to backline weight, I would think. Yeah. Yes. It's all the backline.
Back four, back eight. T top four.
Oh, down and weight.
T top four.
Got him, bump it. Tazir.
Go here.
Yeah,
A lot of rotation.
That'll keep it moving.
That's pretty close to backline.
Yeah, that was some nice line that they had on that shot as well.
Yeah.
Camera attack. Do you mind that? Okay, yeah, back line. Just back line.
Now that's the thing, from the hack it looks worse than it does from the house, and
Yeah.
that's where you're seeing Newfoundland Labrador skip going, yep, you can still get it with backline in the hack, saying, oh, it's over buried, but it's kind of just got to picture the path that the rock is going to take to make that shot and try to ignore the ISO or the guard up
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
Curl it. Curl it. Curl it. Curl it, Jack. Curl. Oh, crap. Curl it.
That will go right by. They had the line on it, just a few feet too heavy.
Good guy.
Light's the miss here. Edge of 8. Edge of 8.
What? Okay.
And that was a good comment there, Morris, about tolerance.
Biting top 8.
Yeah.
I'd rather be light here than heavy. Okay. So no.
Shot tolerance is an interesting thing, Danielle.
I'll throw this one.
I know all the teams now have spent time discussing the relevance of it, and how it should be called and how you utilize it, and pro side misses and all the rest of it. I think with the precision required in a lot of the games, especially in the finesse game now, that sometimes we get a little bit overwhelmed or consumed with the whole concept of shot tolerance. That sometimes what is needed is the precise, exact call. This is where we need it. And okay, yes, if it's short, you can maybe utilize it. If it's deep, we can. But sometimes, especially in the games where a lot of freezes taking place and angle raises, it has to be precise. There's shot tolerance is very small in many shots now.
Especially when you get down in points, there's about zero tolerance for your shots.
That's right.
Have to be made perfect.
Yeah. So not all shots are equal when it comes to shot tolerance.
It's true. Especially as you get further on in the end.
Tight. Yeah. Hard. Hard all the way. Hard all the way. With the roll. Oh. I almost took it away.
So they moved it out of the way. It's now more on the 4-foot line, but unfortunately not far enough.
You can finish it in. That's fair. Right? Yeah.
And the territories are sitting 2.
Bit more this side of center line. Right around here, right, Julian?
Yeah.
Put a lot of pressure on Newfoundland.
I thought we'd favor this way a bit just because there's yellow on the one side.
Like to see how they took more ice on that call, because it finishes so hard and you can sweep to finish it nicely. What is very difficult on this ice is sweep to hold on a guard placement. So like that, they took a little bit extra ice to accommodate for that.
It's here. That's all we need.
Go tip.
Wait only.
Wait,
Sean a bit.
Sean's rock.
Hard, Sean.
Yeah,
Help him to zero. Help him.
All the way.
All the way.
We good for weight.
Okay, where are we? Where are we?
2.
Whoa.
We're seeing a lot of rotation on that rock as well, but that may have helped to manage that guard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just to break a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
An inch more would have been perfect, but they're not going to.
Play run. No, not play. No. That's for 1. Yeah, that's what I called earlier. No. I don't like that.
Considerably less ice in this call than what the territories had.
Well, it looks like they might be coming down and playing a hair of a tap.
Fine. I want the run
But he's got down to the hack, talked to the front end, and is coming back down to chat, so we'll listen in.
Yeah?
Yeah, that broom was about 2.5 feet less than what
I was thinking just like
territories
run.
had on their last shot for the guard.
Yeah, I was thinking run. Yeah.
You're in a lot of.
Yeah. I like run.
I think run it in.
Yeah.
At the worst, you get a
Yeah.
the one running on this way, so you have a chance that you get them both.
Yeah.
So I think that's the call. Make this either the run or the field is the outcome.
Yeah.
That's the guard again. If it's not made, you better have a double for 2. But I think if you don't make the draw, if you step off, you roll in, you might be giving up a few more than necessary.
Yeah.
So run the run, make sure you're taking the shooter to the right. I think just a heel high side on the right side of the rock. Heel weight, you're kind of running into this, and hopefully get them both. Okay?
Yeah.
Start weight,
All right, and wise words from Coach Greg Smith. You might recognize him as the skip for Newfoundland Labrador at the 2018 and 2021 Brier. Also a two-time Newfoundland Under-18 and Under-21 champion.
More.
Nice to see these young players that are already getting involved with coaching and sharing their experiences with the young hurlers as well. It's quite informative in that timeout.
Really is. You also have his teammate Greg Blyde here coaching as well. And just giving back to the game, especially there. It's been a few years since they've been out of junior, but is still young enough to have that perspective and to be someone that the players can look up to.
Yeah, I think Greg's just in his mid-20s, so. Yeah.
I mean, you heard a few concerns, but they still ended up removing the rock in the top 12 there, and we'll have another look at that. Ideally, they would have liked to have hit a little less of that rock and driven it back and lost their shooter, but at least they removed the one in the top.
And a little bit of tough luck with the jam at the back as well. However, it still is, prior to the territory shot, they are in better shape than they were. But
like, there's no way we're playing it.
Still awaiting the outcome of this shot.
Because even if we're here, like, that makes the whole that much tougher.
Yeah.
Right? I'll give you similar ice.
There. What's the shot? So there's no, you have to go through that hole if you want to hit it, and it's shot. Like, so we're gonna actually try to cross over the center line, like a top 8, and try to like.
Okay, so we're drawing to here, right? Okay.
Oh, not really. If we put it in just the right spot, it eliminates both. Great, top 8 way, guys.
Okay. You got this.
Good positive words. Putting this rock top 8 is the game plan.
Music! 3!
Set it!
Where? 4! Sean! Whoa! Leave it here then.
On its own.
Weights down! Sean, go! Whoa! On its own!
On its own.
Sean, get it across. Okay, that works.
Okay.
All right, so we went to the plan B on that shot when it was coming light, and well done to make that change partway through. Now, that being said, it overlapped it a bit, so this might be a draw to cut down at this point.
For sure. There was a situation where they did throw within the shot tolerance, and that situation works out. It didn't call for exact precision on that one.
Yeah.
I think it crows a lot on that
like
side.
what?
I think it crows a lot on that side.
Do you not like that ice?
I don't know.
If they really needed to on this shot, they could tighten up the broom and play the tap on that red stone there, but at this point, it's almost a scoreboard shot where even if you give up 1, go down 2, that's not the end of the world. We're only 2 ends in. But what you want to try to avoid is giving up a multiple.
Yeah.
And here we go with a last rock here in N2.
Weight's good, top 4. All the way, hard.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be a lot of disappointment if Newfoundland only concedes 1 in this end.
You really gotta go. Really gotta go. Really gotta go hard.
Going hard to get this by the guard.
Get that.
And that will be a steal of 3 for Northwest Territories, and they will take a commanding 4-0 lead after 2 ends here.
And the weight really seemed to be all right in that shot, Danielle. It was just probably didn't take quite enough ice or didn't hit the broom. The weight seemed to be pretty close.
Yeah, it did seem like tight ice if you're just throwing about a T-line weight.
Yeah.
Here at the Oakville Curling Club, as mentioned, we have 6 other sheets in play. Our feature game, of course, are on sheet 6. But also on the ice, we have Team Ontario 1 and Newfoundland Labrador. Number 1, they blanked their first end. We'll take a look at the girls' side. Team Saskatchewan 1 up 2-0 over Team Quebec 1. Team Northwest Territories is up 1-0 over Team Quebec 2. And there have been 2 blank ends in the game BC 2 and Nova Scotia 1. Again, you can go to curling.ca/scoreboard to check out all of the live scoring results. Now, something else exciting that was announced yesterday was the 2022 For the Love of Curling Scholarship applications were opened. And the scholarship program is for young curlers across Canada. And thanks to the generous support of the Governor General's Curling Club members, Curling Canada is once again increasing the number of scholarships awarding from 10 to 11, and with each of the scholarships valued at $2,500 each. They are awarded to student curling athletes who have been accepted into post-secondary education programs. Deadline for that being June 30th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. Now, you can head on over to Curling Canada Foundation page to find out more information or share it with anyone that you know might be looking for a scholarship for next year. And that website is curling.ca/foundation.
I know they're very sought after and worthwhile scholarships, valuable to, I think, looking at some of the past recipients, and Piper Crozier is one I worked with, and Bella Crozier, Jamie Smith, I think, got one last year. I remember writing all those reference letters for those people. So
you're the reason they got some of them, amongst other things. And what's really neat about this too is it not only combines their accomplishments on the ice, but also off the ice, and
yes,
their community work.
Yeah, I see at least a half a dozen on there I've written reference letters for in the past.
Work with some very accomplished curlers. We'll highlight a few more names that might recognize, such as Mackenzie Zacharias, won back in 2017. Jocelyn Peterman in 2014. Thomas Scoffin in 2015. Tanner Horgan in 2018. Tyler Tardy back in 2016. Many incredible young curlers here who come up the ranks, and every little bit helps when it comes to scholarships. So definitely recommend checking it out. And I always like to say, you never know. If you're worried, oh well, I'm not sure if I'll have the most accomplishments on here. Well, you never know until you try. So highly recommend looking into this.
Yeah, it's quite a list of young who's who curlers.
Starting to see Team Newfoundland Labrador building some offense with guards.
Yeah, you gotta go.
They're going to need to stop the bleeding this end and put a couple points on the board.
Curl. Come on. Curl. Okay, you're good. You're good. Nice shot. touch heavy, but.
Since
On its own.
Northwest Territories, they have a guard up there. They're just going to use it to come around. Never a good sign though when the sweeper's back right off of it.
Did he just push it? It's coming. Yeah, he pushed it, but. Pushing the rocks. Hey guys. We'll have
So you've got to be careful. You hear them talk about push the rocks. You've got to be careful with any adjustment you make, especially with your hands. A little bit can go a long way.
Yeah, we talked to, Andrew and I talked about this morning a great deal, and I've spent the last 4 or 5 years now working on draw weight and precision finesse shots. So zones 1 through 12. And a lot of it has to do with, instead of learning so many different leg drives for so many shots. So, you know, there was a time when basically if you had probably 15 different leg drives for 15 different shots. If you're going from a long guard to a peel weight shot, there's 15 different leg drives. And I'm thoroughly convinced, looking at the highest level of competition right now, that really you can get by with about 4 or 5 leg drives, and everything else can be done by fine-tuning these smaller muscles from the elbow to the fingers. Now, when they're talking about push, they're talking about shoving with your shoulder, and that doesn't factor into it. So if you watch many of these young curlers, what I am finding so often, and it isn't just the young curlers here, it's, you know, you see it at every club in the country, in the world that you go to, just an inconsistency in leg drive. So what I'm looking for, if I'm watching these young curlers throwing anything from a long guard to a board weight shot, I just want to see their follow through, taking them somewhere close to the hog line, 2 feet beyond the hog line or 2 feet before it, but just the hog line being the kind of the barrier for follow through with it, and then everything else could be added. So I call it addition by subtraction. Add with your hand, subtract the leg drive.
Yeah.
Gotta go, really gotta go.
And in the
really
end, it just takes repetition, no matter what you do, to get that feel.
Absolutely.
And to know how much a certain motion will change and affect the rock.
Yep.
Okay. Well, we can't get to the inside. So we hit and flop behind.
I've started using a timing system, Danielle, that I do when we're working at training for those types of shots, where I'll set up speed traps or rock hawk from back line to the top of the house for the 12-foot area. And so, say for instance, this is 15 and a half second ice. Typically they've been working with here this week. You'd be looking at 0.165 to 1.7 would be how much leg drive, that'd be the time to pass through that 12-foot area, and then everything else would be extension from there. So you know how much to train yourself, so it's just muscle memory.
It's neat to be trying different things and see how they work, and especially for everybody learns in a different way. So trying new things, and you never know what's going to really work for someone.
Yep. I just like to provide a system for the athletes where they kind of can have some kind of target. They are like a benchmark, but they can work towards and continue to train. And what I find with it too is when you have that, then practice doesn't become onerous. It's a competition to reach that. So you're not only competing with yourself, but you might be competing with your teammate as well. So you get that intrinsic and extrinsic motivation out of it.
Yeah.
And feedback.
It's important to have some practice with purpose.
Hard line.
Yep.
Hard all the way. Okay. Gotta go.
Really working hard to get this one by the guard.
Are they ever?
I think we gotta take more ice.
I think this is pretty lined up with the roll.
So that will come up short, and you can see Newfoundland Labrador is sitting 2, I believe. One right at the back of the 8.
Normal hit and
Oh,
roll.
sorry, they're only setting one. They're saying first and third.
So we'll go for the roll because
So
the second shot with the double should happen actually.
Yeah.
Northwest Territories, you just heard, going for the roll is optimal. They want to try to avoid leaving a double right back for Newfoundland Labrador.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Whoa! Sean! Sean!
Hard, Sean! Hard,
Never.
Sean!
All the way. Hard, Sean. Roll as far as you can.
So they have left the rocks grouped together, but actually where they left them is a tricky double
It is,
spot.
yeah.
So it actually worked out for them.
875.
Yeah,
I almost got the double the other way.
Yeah.
yeah. But
Focus was there.
trying the double, you can certainly see that gear effect could lend itself to rolling right out.
That's a tricky one.
It is, yeah.
Newfoundland Labrador is just going to ignore all of that and use those center line guards that are available.
I'm playing knocked off the
Yeah, that's true. We
line.
gotta
Looks like
make
it's
it light.
overfilling.
Yeah, it's overfilling.
Really gotta go. Really gotta go. Really gotta go.
Another big sweep to get by the guard. And will not
Try it
the
again. Like, you gotta use one on one. I gave more than 12. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a few times now they've got fooled with
You're
the
not sliding out.
line, especially that side of the sheet.
You weren't sliding out to the brim.
they're currently analyzing whether they need to give more broom or they need to the player throwing the rock needs to get out to the broom, and sometimes it's a combination of both too. Or if your player's constantly having some trouble hitting the broom, maybe you need to just move it out as a visual reference, because target practice is not always easiest to do when you're in the middle of a game to go fix some of your issues.
Yeah, great
You
point.
got the tuning.
It really didn't get on sweep that early though, which kind of makes me think that maybe it was a line. You know.
And that's a good point too. I mean, all curlers have become more aware of how much sweeping can help and impact a rock. I know most of the top competitive curlers knew that, but we're all understanding just how much that can help and use it. So that was a case where they could have used it and they didn't, because if you have a player that's tight and you hit it with sweeping within that first 10 feet, you're going to help it stay out for longer.
Yeah.
Really good throw.
I'm thinking now with several of those shots now that Newfoundland has had some difficulty. Sorry, that was the Territories. That one that they just could have managed a little bit more, delaying that break point by sweeping high side and keeping that rock out and delaying the break point as long as possible.
See here.
Newfoundland has also had that issue too in this game already.
Caleb, like, you slid a bit tight on both of
You can
those.
see here that it's a narrow little port, but again, it's available.
Yes, it
just on Northwest Territories, go through it and slip to the back tee. So now opportunity for Newfoundland and Labrador to nestle one right up against it.
An inch more over. Oh, that's fine.
Weight's good. A little heavy. Back 4. Back 8.
T-line.
Tap the yellow.
So we're looking at a good weight, but it needs to make a move.
Curl. Oh.
And there it goes. Will it have enough weight to get there?
Sorry, guys.
And a beautiful shot. Great freeze.
Very nice. Now there's precision.
They have that, right?
Great precision and great team shot too.
Yeah, you got it.
Well, we go on top of them. We just go on top of them.
However, there still is a bit of room for the Territories.
So like top 8?
Yeah, so we're gonna go.
However, some of the rock will be showing
So we
that come to the
If we
pin.
can't get shot, we'll just limit. So we need top 4 weight.
Yeah, top 4.
So make it really difficult if they can come right to, because you can see that yellow on the left-hand side is available to tap up if needed. So it's the last rock for Northwest Territories.
This was good communication, good team communication before the shot too, because they're talking just what weight they need, and they're not asking for pin or button weight. They're asking for top 4 weight and let the sweepers take it to where they need it. So.
Arch is here. Get in here, Arch. Right up, do it, freeze it, hard. Hard, Sean, all the way, Sean, all the way.
It's going to overcurl.
I hit this one. Can you move back a bit? Yeah.
You saw just as he was coming in, clip the red rock with his foot.
You want to bother with it?
And
we can do that.
Up to the non-defending team. He kind of got caught on the broom as we saw there. But great weight.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. Back line, same ice.
I guess that was the opposing skip or opposing vice broom, I guess, wasn't it?
Oh, I think that's okay. Do you think it's all right? Jack, you're doing same ice, back line though. So I think it's tap on yellow.
So this is a pretty precise shot. As you can see, they're planning on raising the yellow up to the button, and they've got to avoid all the red rocks that are in play. And when you see the angle, it's pretty, there's not much room for error in this case. A big shot here. Last in the third end for Team Newfoundland and Labrador.
Back 8. It's not back line, it's one.
Gotta go. Gotta go. Gotta go. Whoa, 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 whoa.
So pretty close on the weight, but not quite the line. But it will be a single point for Team Newfoundland Labrador. They will trail Northwest Territories 4-1 after 3 ends.
Valiant effort on that one. Very tough call, though. Very tough shot.
And we do again have other action out on the ice here. Over on sheet 2, we have Team Alberta 2 with a 2-0 lead over Team Manitoba 1. 2 blanks on sheet 3 for Ontario 1 and Newfoundland Labrador 1. And then on the girls' side, have a tied game on sheet 1, Alberta 1, Northern Ontario 2 all. Team Saskatchewan with a 2-0 lead over Team Quebec 1. Team Northwest Territories 1-0 currently after 3 ends over Team Quebec 2. And also Team BC 2 with 1-0 lead over Team Nova Scotia 1 after 3 ends.
Just a 1.
So now they really would have liked to have seen a deuce on the board to bring the score closer. So now Newfoundland Labrador is really going to have to up the offense here.
Yeah, they're going to have to open it up and take a few more chances, a few more risks with some of their calls.
Just over. Is it over?
Force the Territories into some uncomfortable situations, which also might lead to some pretty uncomfortable ones themselves.
It's true. You talked about that precision. There's going to need to be a lot of precision coming for Newfoundland and Labrador. And perhaps you always say, not that you want to count on this, but you might need a little luck and a few missed shots on your side too from the other team.
Line's fine. Use it. Shot 12. Sean. Hard, Sean. Hard, guys. Hard. Hard, guys. Yeah. Hard, Sean.
Just me. No, both.
Where is it?
Top 12.
Hard, get in T. Hard. Hard, gotta be T. Hard. All the way, all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way. Nice sweep, guys.
So they're trying to entice Newfoundland Labrador to hit it, but they're going to ignore that. I think that's some good coaching out there to make sure they've got their patient. They've got to be patient in this case. They're calling for a second center guard.
Yes, it's an even end now, and I think they feel that they must score more than one for sure.
Okay. I looked in a little bit. It's not so bad. You gotta go! You gotta go! Hard! Hard, guys! You gotta go! Hard, guys!
This is a sweep to get by the guard. And
And
good,
it did.
excellent sweep. Now it needs to stay out of the rings.
That was really loud.
And well done.
Like, I couldn't hear what I was saying. Like, everyone was yelling at the same time. I was like,
So we've heard that before on the broadcast. The team's talking about they can't hear. There's a lot of noise out there, and so it was mentioned we've got 6 sheets, and then we have one full stand of very enthusiastic fans with noisemakers. So, but that's all part of playing at a national championship.
Yes. Now, it's going to be interesting for these teams, I'm sure, having the coaches down at ice level. And this may be, one of the first opportunities they've had to do that. So they can have conversations at the end of each end.
Julian, if you can.
Now,
Okay, take it way back.
we'll just take a moment to talk about what the changes might be for next year, too, with U18 and U21. Is Saskatchewan and Alberta have both trialed these over the last couple of years, and instead of having timeouts in the future in U18 and U21, each team will be allowed, I think it's 42 minutes for an 8-end game, and you are allowed 2 interactions each end.
Well, that's
Okay?
interesting.
So, and the coaches will be down at the ice level, so you don't have the time to go back and forth. That's required right now. They'll be right there, and immediately. So the onus now becomes on the coach as well for time management, because if they're taking too much time, it's going to take away from what your team's allowed later on. So you may have up to 4 interactions per end, because you're allowed to go as well when the other team calls an interaction. So.
Okay, that's a very interesting concept. I think also great when these players are really in their development stage to learn as you go. I mean, like you said, looking at other sports and what they get to do, and you look at, say, like a hockey or a soccer where the coach is constantly interacting with the players, and great at this point of the player's development to try something different.
Yeah. And I mean, you don't want it that the coach is doing all the thinking you want to have athletes that are good learners, right? And students of the game. You don't want to do all the thinking for them. However, this is particularly U18. It should be a learning environment, and if you can stop your skip or any of your athletes from taking a long time to make a decision about what should happen by the interaction that you're having with them, it's only going to make the game better. So it can accelerate their learning process.
Very good point.
They can just use tiles and then pop them in, and it turns into a bigger screen.
Yeah, definitely brings a whole different dynamic
They
into
just pop
play,
in more
though.
tiles,
For
and
sure.
It just makes the screen bigger and bigger. So they can make this thing the entire wall just with like a 4x4 of just tile.
That rock will sit for shot rock, as you can see behind all the guards. That's why Northwest Territories practically ran up to the guard and called for the peel.
Yeah, gotta go hard. 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 All the way. Roll.
Make the peel and catch the back one. Now, we were talking earlier, we saw Northwest Territories split the rings, put one of their rocks on one side, one on the other, with those 2 center guards up from Newfoundland Labrador. And you can see right here, one of the issues with that type of strategy is that you run the risk of jam in the house. Now, in this case, it worked out, and they spilled both shots, and no harm, no foul. But if you have ever jammed it, you're putting a bit more pressure on yourself and, of course, leaving another opposition rock in the ring. So instead of split, you may want to consider, if you're not coming around, putting both of those rocks over onto the same side. So you at least have one way to peel where you won't jam.
Is it
Right.
in?
Right.
Where is it? Yeah, go hard if it's in. Go hard if it's in.
It's heavy.
Go hard if it's in. Go. Go. Okay, no, never
Sir.
mind. Never. Oh. Come on.
So that rock,
That's-
it did land not quite where they're expecting. They got caught in between two shots in this case.
Like doing that. Like he's not up by one that is touched.
Oh, they called timeout.
And to add to your point too, the rock that's in the top 12 that the Territories put there early in the end now can work against them too with a nice hit and roll underneath the staggered rocks in front. So.
Because really, those, like you said, the staggered rocks, they act as a guard because they'll take two shots to get at the rock at the back. And we have a timeout called for Team Northwest Territories.
So we are trying to hit the top two.
We can't trade this.
So nothing crazy.
I'm thinking like just flop that yellow over. Our red goes back
I
there.
almost want the red to just.
Pop that yellow off. So our red's out. We have one in the middle that I can run, or we can do something. And we have more access to this back one. Because
Because you're just offered. Can you come around with hack rate and just get it?
We don't want to do that because then they get.
We don't want to kick your middle open.
I'm okay with like taking
peel. I'll just throw peel at the middle.
At the center. You might even get.
Like hit it here and they're all gone.
Yeah,
I hit it here and they're all
the
gone.
best shot.
Yeah, I'll throw peel, Julian, the out turn.
Okay.
Give me broom like right here.
Right there.
I want to hit like just an inch to the inside of the broom.
Yep.
We gotta make sure this hits this to go over that.
It's always an interesting dynamic when you've got the skip and the fourth thrower being different people. Right?
It is, and
Pretty much just
I'd like to
hitting
see, because where I'm going with that is tripping over my words here, just because it can be a very, like you said, interesting dynamic. But what I really like to see is that in the end, if there are two shots that will come out to about the same result, going with what the thrower is comfortable with too.
Yeah, I agree 100% with you.
Whoa. Whoa. Falling a mile. Get away.
Remove one. At least they removed the stagger in this case, but the yellow rock is still biting the top 12.
Might have been a little quick.
He's back, eh?
And of course, it was Tara Nogler, Adam Nogler's mom, coach of Team Northwest Territories. And she would like to know that she's the best curler in the family.
Got a curl.
Back eight.
Curl.
Back eight.
Got a curl. Okay. Split it. Whoa.
So the line was pretty close, but too much weight on that tap. And it can be a common theme. What you want to think about for a tap weight, don't need as much as you think you might need. If you're tapping it straight back, you're tapping it the equivalent with the equivalent weight of where you want it, plus a rock or so, depending on the ice. So it's really not much more than a draw.
Normal.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you found him.
And now
Just normal.
there's a double available for Northwest Territories. What they also have to be careful of is where they leave their shooter with this rock.
Roll it up!
Yeah.
Hard,
Sean.
all the way, Sean. Hard! All the way, Sean. Hard! Hard, Sean. Hard! Right, sir.
Roll it.
Whoa.
so they didn't make the shot, the double, but they did at least
Not a
move
bad
it out of the
result.
way.
Not a bad result.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like it. As long as we
But
can
here
focus
on the
Good
flip
plan B.
Absolutely. The flip side here, Newfoundland Labrador, if they can get a bit of a Christmas tree or even a draw straight behind this yellow guard, will put them in a good spot.
Yeah, a double would be really good. I just kind of overcooked my first time. I think I released a little bit. Kind of get too excited.
I know these big ones is like
Interesting having the live mics on players. Some of them probably for the first time too. That's happened. Just conversations are interesting.
It is, and that in itself actually is a great tool for coaching and to be able to hear your players and how they're interacting, not just while the shot is on, but between what's being said or what's not being said in some cases.
Got a curl. Got a curl.
back four, back four.
We got a curl.
Back four.
Seeing many teams going to the head of the brush, especially with these hardline brooms, being rather than being on a 45-degree angle straight ahead now when they're trying to carve the rock, they're trying to make it to curl.
That was white.
Some teams buying into it, some not. So.
I'd always say the biggest thing for that is you can't just watch what you see on TV and emulate it. You have to go out there and try it for yourself and see what works for you, what works for your team. That's the biggest thing. You can see there, it is about half to 3/4 open and available for a hit. They would like to have left that higher in the rings and a bit more buried in that case. Sweep to curl. It's like they'll have a good piece of the rock. And we'll make the double. Beautiful shot.
Very well thrown.
Let's take another look at that. So nice quiet weight. Make contact with the first and the second, both rocks going out of the house, leaving them sitting shot 3.
And that wasn't much more than hack weight.
We talked about off the top that there's been some impressive weight control out here too. I mean, you can make, depending on the situation, you, like we just saw, as long as you have the precision and enough weight to get both rocks out of the house, you don't need to kill it with the weight.
That's right. That's right.
Maybe a bit more. Do you like
So
that?
this is a pretty critical shot for Team Newfoundland Labrador. They're facing 3, don't have the hammer this end, and need a precise hit and roll in behind the guard.
Oh, out, curl it. Oh, curl it.
Looks like this rock is hanging out. Need a curl to make good contact.
Curl.
And look at that roll. Beautiful.
That was a hard finish from the top of the house in. Very nice.
It was right before the hog line. That was way out there, and you can just see that finish, especially once it gets to the center line. Roll right in behind the guard. What a beautiful, precise shot when it's needed.
You got this, Julian.
So we've got a run back being called. And this is...
It's just a bit of a scoreboard call, this one. You know, the options here, Danielle, where you drive to the button or run it back, and because they have a 4-1 lead, they opted to try the run back.
Last rock here in for Northwest Territories, playing the run back to get their deuce.
Hard. Yeah, all the way. All the way. Hard.
And they'll miss the run back, but it is a stolen point for Team Newfoundland Labrador. Team Northwest Territories with a 4-2 lead heading into the break, and we will be back with you after the break in just a few minutes. welcome back to our coverage of the 2022 Canadian Under-18 Curling Championships. Got live footage inside the Oakville Curling Club. My name's Danielle Inglis, and I am joined in the booth by Morris Wilson.
Yeah, glad to be back here for the fifth end.
Our feature matchup, we have Team Northwest Territories with a 4-2 lead over Team Newfoundland and Labrador.
Hard all the way.
We also have 6 other games out on the ice.
Don't stop. Don't stop.
Over on the men's side, we'll do a quick update across the board. Team Alberta 2, 3-0 lead over Team Manitoba 1. Team Ontario 1. On the board, 1 point in the third. 1-0 lead over Newfoundland Labrador 1. Then on the girls' side, we have a tie game. Alberta 1, Northern Ontario 2, 2-all. Team Saskatchewan 1, holding a 3-2 lead over Team Quebec 1. Team Quebec 2, up 2-1 over Northwest Territories. And Team Nova Scotia 1, also up 2-1 over Team BC 2. Again, you can follow along with all of those line scores at curling.ca/scoreboard. So Morris, after your thoughts on the first half of the game, what we've seen here?
Yeah, again, I think both teams are struggling with ice in some situations. We've had some half shots, we've had a few flashes, and then we've had some very good shots made as well. And I think the uphill task for Newfoundland in this half is trying to get back in it, down 2 without Hammer. And anyway, right now, you know, a force would be fine. 5-2 is not insurmountable with 3 ends to go, but they may be trying to go all out and try to get steals. At the U18 level, steal becomes part of the offense, more so than it does that as they get later in life and more experienced in the curling. So the steal does become a big part of the offense.
I mean, still 4 ends left to play. There is plenty of time, but like you said, you're going to need a good steal in here to make things a bit more comfortable. You're behind the 8 ball a bit.
Yeah. I know I try to, the teams I work with, I try to say to them, you know, if they're at the U21 level or higher, I'd say 19 to 25% for steal efficiency is a good target number to aim for. And I would say at U18 level, they're trying to look probably more at 30 and 40% lots of times, or sometimes even higher, you know.
So Newfoundland Labrador putting up those two nice guards. And now you can see Northwest Territories not quite getting a precise draw around, leaving this double available for Newfoundland Labrador.
Hard. No, go, hard.
A big scrub to get it by the guards, and it will clip it. But now it...
It's so tight again. What? I'd like to control the center.
That should be in the free guard zone.
Especially like we can pass that stuff too, right? If we got that. But he keeps sliding inside on like every shot. What?
Up onto our center line one.
Not sure, maybe I missed something more, so you can correct me if I'm wrong, but that was still in the free guard zone there, so Rock actually should have gone back.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, needs it.
But no one has caught that out on the ice here.
Yes, positive.
No, you're absolutely right, Danielle.
Yes, positive. Where's the weight, guys?
Unless they've elected not to bother putting it back. The Territories didn't want it there. So.
Now,
I don't quite understand, but anyway.
Territory sitting 3 in behind. got one in behind, two open, and so Newfoundland and Labrador playing the hit and roll in behind the pile.
That car left, we hit nothing, or car Milwaukee, we hit Milwaukee. Come on, guys. We gotta go. You held that well. Over curl, so we dodged the bullet.
And the overcurl. And when you're down in points, you're often in a position where you need to generate the offense, and that means putting rocks in play. You want to do more taps and draws as much as possible. Or if you have to play a hit, try to really focus on keeping the shooter around.
Yeah, and the Northwest Territories still have got those two controlling rocks in the top 12 right now. And I'm afraid Newfoundland's, if they're going to do anything this end, they're going to have to address that pretty soon.
I can't. Okay. You can't. Okay. Whoa.
Too much.
You gotta be louder, guys. I can't hear you guys.
Oh. We thought you heard.
And since you don't jump in, like you gotta let them work a bit.
So it seems to be a few communication issues, but also that was overthrown by a few feet. But again, it can be crucial to have good communication the first few feet of the rock for sure. But now,
I really want to get rid of that.
still sitting two up there.
I really do.
We all try to generate something.
I really don't like this.
Okay.
Do you want to like hit?
So Newfoundland and Labrador is identifying that they don't like where those rocks are. They're in the control zone. But at the same time, the way of dealing with them is not always to remove them, but you could look at a tap in this case, somewhere in the back they could use later.
Absolutely. Now, it does look like they are just going to remove it. And yeah, when you're down two like this and trying to get something going offensively, and it's been kind of challenging to this point, you know, the opposition rocks behind the tee line could be your friend. So that would probably be my first option, would be to try to, you know, get some kind of wall build up back there that you can take advantage of.
You got this, Adam. Be loud with your weight calls, guys. Yeah, it's loud out here.
Yeah, sometimes you need to identify which ones are helping you, which ones are hurting you, and then if they're in a place you don't want, where can you put them that would be better?
Yeah. So for instance, instead of having an open hit right now, the Northwest Territories could be looking at having the Newfoundland rocks sitting top 12 and having one of their rocks back 12 or back 8 and making the removal of this rock much harder.
Move it all the way.
Yeah,
right to it.
hard.
All the way, right to it.
Shoot.
Okay, no roll, no roll. Just catch it. Catch it.
And they won't be unhappy that rolled out.
Now Newfoundland and Labrador are going to use that red rock almost as a guard here to come around, and the ice curls so much you can easily get buried behind and still be in top 4, top bun range.
Newfoundland has had problems with a few crashes in this game, and we'll see how they've made the proper adjustment.
Hard away.
It's like the sweeper's picking this one up early, really going.
Really gotta go.
Not only for line, but also for weight.
Okay. Neither is a guard. It's just get it over. What were we doing?
So sometimes when you're looking at trying to evaluate what you did, sometimes if you are tight and have a bit of a direction to the rock, you sometimes tend to take the weight off of it too. So that's something to factor in. And we saw that with the release there. It was a little bit of a soft release, and factoring that into the whole throw and how it ran is important. You may have had a good kick, but if you didn't have that release portion up, it may not go as far as you thought it would.
Yeah, positive and out to the broom, but yeah, that was, you know, approximately 20 feet light.
So Northwest Territories put on the pressure with the draw to the top house on this shot.
To zero, drop to zero. No, line's fine, it'll go.
Where?
Watch it. Wait up. It's going now.
Tazir,
Make sure we're by, Julian.
All the
No
way, hard,
shot.
guys. Go, Tazir. All the way.
Not back four, guys.
Go. All the way.
Not back four.
That actually worked out for them where it landed. Even though they were calling for it behind, but where it stopped, even if yellow hits it, they won't be shot rock.
Right.
So it looks like the call is to ignore and go around the rocks in the top. It's a good call to really use them as a guard. I mean, where that red rock is on the center line, it'll be pretty usable for Northwest Territories, but you can at least, if you're Newfoundland and Labrador, if you can get some separation between those two, maybe not bury it all the way, maybe just leave a piece open, it'll make it tougher on Northwest Territories to remove it.
It's back button, but the best you could hope for in this situation.
About that, and then just hope they don't freeze or they miss the run.
Yeah, gotta go. 2. Hard all the way. Really gotta go. Really gotta go.
Oh, this rock will come up to freeze.
Like tapping over there.
Oh, yeah. The
Had-
red one, sorry. Yeah.
It had pretty good line on that. If they had more weight, it might have gone by that.
That's okay. It'll be another.
And a little sweep off the top.
They can always nose, like, turn around and nose that.
I thought it perhaps looked a little bit tight right from the get-go.
Well, that's okay. Well, if you go here, that's a really tough touch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. Like just so like team line back four weight.
Yep.
I'll give you about like here for ice, I think. I like that.
What's the shot?
Oh, we're gonna bump up our other one.
Okay.
About top 4 weight.
Okay. Tapping the red, this red. The one that's not frozen too. About top 4 weight.
So they're calling for the tap on their red rock, and this is a side that they're very familiar with playing, and they'd like to just put the pressure on Newfoundland and Labrador. Another shot to consider is basically taking away the same shot that Newfoundland and Labrador had on their last one. And coming up light would work, but if they can make this one precisely, it can put a lot of pressure on Newfoundland and Labrador.
Hard line! Gotta go!
Okay, it's moving.
Whoa!
Break way down.
Yeah, both teams getting fooled on the amount of curl and the weight.
They were 2. That's
Weight
all
and
probably
tight.
not doing that.
2, not
Yeah, you can't hit. Yeah, you gotta. How do I do that? More ice. I was inside. How much inside? A good bit.
It's interesting, the game this afternoon compared to this morning's games. This morning's games we heard a lot of hog-to-hog times given by both teams, using that as a reference for weight. And I can't recall any calls in this afternoon's game.
And even it's a good point. Each team has a different way of using it, how they talk about the times and the paths and the ice. But even if there weren't times, there were not as much talk about what is this path doing versus
how
that
many more
path.
feet to throw, or
Absolutely, and
yeah.
that's critical. We saw in a few games yesterday too that this spot in particular, if it hadn't been played for a bit, could be a bit slower. It has some nice curl, and that tripped up a few teams yesterday. So as long as they're recognizing that before they throw, that's what's critical.
Back 8, back 12.
No.
Through.
Back 12.
They've got the line now. It needs to find some breaks. And that will slide to the back. So at the last rock, the end coming up,
I'll give you.
be
like
Team
here.
Northwest Territories drawing for 3.
Yeah, and we'll keep shot on it the whole way.
3 for 30.
And going back to that last shot for a moment, talked about that spot being a little bit slower. Sounds like that was a thought that was in there, especially after watching a few rocks come up short.
Yeah.
But just an overcorrection.
But yeah, it's about 10 feet difference in the weight in the two shots.
Needing a piece of the 8-foot 4-3, Team Northwest Territories with their last rock in N5.
Let's stop playing.
Can't hurt it, guys. Can't hurt it.
That's the low ball.
Make sure we're here.
Yeah.
Yes, Sean.
Can't hurt it.
Hard. Hard,
Yeah.
8 foot.
Hard,
Just me.
Sean. Okay, clean,
Okay, well,
clean,
you're good.
clean. 3.
And clean it in for 3.
It's a big 3. Big crooked number.
And that will be
yeah.
7-2 lead for Northwest Territories over Team Newfoundland and Labrador here at the Oakville Curling Club for this afternoon's draw. A quick update across the sheets. On the men's side, we have Team Alberta 2 leading 3-1 over Team Manitoba 1 after 4 ends. Team Newfoundland and Labrador 2-1 over Team Ontario 1. Then on the girls' side, tie game between Alberta 1, Northern Ontario 2-2 Saskatchewan 1 taking a big 3 points in N5, and they now have a 6-2 lead over Team Quebec 1. Quebec 2 with a steal of 1 in N5. They now lead 3-1 over Team Northwest Territories. And it was Nova Scotia 1 and BC 1 trading the 3s in the 5th and 6th end, and Team Nova Scotia with a 5-4 lead in that game.
Okay, top 4 here.
Now back to our feature game. Playing N6. Got
Top
Team Northwest Territories with a commanding 7-2
Get in
lead.
here, guys.
Your Team Newfoundland and Labrador right now. What are you thinking, Morris? What's the game plan this end?
You might as well go for it. You've got hammer. You've got a 5-point deficit. It's late in the game.
Really good
3 ends to go at best. Sorry, you could have an extra. But anyway, down 5, you got to go for it. So this is the end to make a move. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen this end probably.
I mean, there's something to be said about having your backs against the wall and just having to make every shot as precisely as you can, and maybe trying something that you wouldn't normally try.
Yeah. A 2 would be good here. A 3 would be great here to get you back in it.
Make sure it's over.
But trying to get a 6 this end would probably be suicide.
Yeah.
Hard.
Really gotta go. Really gotta go, guys. Hard.
It's a scrub to get this rock over the hog line.
Hard all the way. Hard all the way. Hard all the way.
And it looks like they've done it.
Freeze it. Top 8.
Okay, got this there.
So this is a change that we see with the 5 rock free guard zone rule now, that even when you have a fairly comfortable 5-point lead, you're still keeping on the offense here, because it's hard to keep all the rocks in play with that 5 rock free guard zone rule.
Yeah, with a 5-point lead, the territories don't want any of their rocks out as guards. That works against them. So they're going to fill the house. I mean, the other option for them might have been here to throw it through, but maybe they just feel it's a little bit early at 6th end. But other teams may have elected to do that.
And they did come up late. It is guarding their rock in the house, but it could be work to Newfoundland's
Skip
advantage.
won't be happy with that,
No.
or coach.
Yeah.
Then again, you can peel your own rocks out.
You can.
Line looks tight there. It's a draw.
The peel of shame.
The line, it's gonna overthrow.
Yeah, but the reds, we're going to take out the reds.
So it looks like they're playing a tight corner guard now. Though with where the placement is of the center line guard, they've got to negotiate the port between that and their existing high corner. So again, they could peel their own guard, but they are electing to play the draw on this shot.
Line spot.
Needs it. Top 12. All right. Top 8.
Hey!
Julian.
Julian, drop! Hey!
Take a look. Yeah, hard. All the way,
Hey,
guys.
both of you!
All the way, hard. Hard. Get it here, hard. All the way. Carve it over. Carve it over. Hard. All the way. 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 Really good throw, Sean. Okay.
A great sweep to get that into biting top button.
Come around, board, attack. No. Hack. Just go hack.
He offered two options there, tap or hack. I would certainly lean towards the tap in this situation. You need those rocks in play behind the tee line to help your cause.
All the way. All the way hard. Gotta go. Really gotta go. Hard. Really hard. Really hard. Really hard. Really hard, guys. Really hard.
They will be on the top one. Looks like they might have got caught in between throwing too little weight and not enough broom versus throwing the weight for the broom.
Yeah, that actually might have been the weight for tap if just had a little bit more broom. A little better line.
Now Northwest Territories using offense as the best defense.
He's here. He's here.
That's the point.
They look like a team determined to end the game in the sixth.
Hard line.
You know what? Sometimes there's something to be said for just continuing what's working for you for the game.
Very true. Very true.
No. Okay, that's over. It's over trailing. Mike, get a take off. Come on.
They played the guard. So they've got two sitting shot behind a pile of guards.
Probably could have got a top 12, but
No,
it was over
if
trailing.
we did that, we were over trailing.
That.
So timeout being called by Newfoundland Labrador. Greg Smith coming out, so we'll listen in.
Really bad.
Though you would never really tell anybody to hit down by 5. You have to score.
Yeah.
This is an all or nothing. If you miss it, game's over. I think what I would do is try to run the center one back, or
The red or the yellow?
the red, or play that double peel. Because you have corners here and there. Then you can freeze in the middle, freeze down the guy, use it as a pocket, and then generate something there. How we play this double peel here, okay? Best poly skins you're gonna get. Right? You have to open up this in the middle here. So play it this way, peel, freeze to there, and you see the 2 corners done. So see what you can muster up. This might jam into there, so be mindful though. It's probably better to play it thick and try to roll that there. So that's it. So see what we can do here. We need to really give ourselves a chance. Stay in the process, focus on the shot, see what we can muster up. No boards.
10 seconds, boys.
No boards or anything like that. It's just some tap back. If you then need to make some shots,
Moving rocks right now, but really, they don't have a lot of other choices right now because, there's no clear path to the button anymore.
But what's even so, if you think if this double is made, they've still got 3 corner guards in play, or 2 plus 1 biting the top rings. This could look much different in a few moments.
Hard.
Or not.
Oh goodness, between the double and the run there. You know, there are some games out there where you feel like you just can't buy a shot.
Yeah.
Things
Yeah,
just aren't
they
going your
did
way.
just get caught on the in-between, for sure.
Good goal.
For Team Northwest Territories, again, the guard being called. Really just going to have to keep making those precise shots to put the pressure on Newfoundland Labrador. You've got the line on this shot. Looking for the tap and they'll get it. But it still leaves that red rock open, as you can see.
Can that out-turn be made?
I think it has to be heavyweight.
I think the out-turn could be made if you even hit half to third on with that out-turn, get a roll behind the corner. You play that with some lower weight.
He's giving the out-turn a try. So.
Oh. Yeah. Whoa. Take the roll. Yeah, that's not much. Okay, it's good.
They've got the hit and the roll. Looks like it might be mostly buried and behind. It's still partially exposed, though, pretty high guards. You can see about half open.
It's starting to look a little bit better, though, for Newfoundland each.
It is. I mean, if that rock had gone buried right in behind, they'd be setting up for a possible 3.
Like just control. Control? Like light control.
Okay, control down.
Here we go. Hit and roll called for Team Northwest Territories.
Control! Whoa! Tazir! Tazir! All the way. Hard, Tazir. Board! It's
Hud.
They're looking for control weight, and that was just a bit up, and it will fly by.
Yeah. We've seen that spot be a little bit straight with a little bit of weight. And yeah, you're right. He was just a little bit firm for control on that one. So.
Oh, and unfortunate where the rock they tapped landed, taking away their run on the yellow.
Control. Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah. Okay. This one. Boom, boom.
So if you want control or control down? Do you want control or control down?
Control.
Okay. Control.
Okay, so they got the broom in relatively the same spot and just dropping the weight back to more controlled. Call this redemption.
Yeah, I think he's trying to throw somewhere between board weight and control. On this.
Whoa! Tazir! Tazir! Control! Control down! Hard! Hard! Hard, Tazir! Hard! Hard!
You got it.
Oh.
Yeah, that's this.
Actually, hack. No hack. Yeah.
See a quarter to a third of that rock.
And they're calling a hack weight hit and roll to make sure to remove that red rock, and also they really need to spill this in behind their guard.
You'd like to roll for shot.
And set shot is very key. Otherwise, red is going to be able to put a second one in. This is a big sweep right off the bat to get it by the center line guard.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
They get it and the roll, and will sit shot.
Very nicely done.
Mission
Yeah.
accomplished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good throw. Perfect weight.
Just here, like here.
Great result.
I like around here. You got it.
What are we throwing?
Okay, we're just gonna like corner freeze, but Sean.
Okay.
Corner freeze, but
Why
short.
don't we just draw it to like over here?
With the amount of curl, we don't. It's
Okay.
tough.
So like what, T?
But this is hard too, because if they try to hit it, it could jam.
T-line?
No, their shot.
Julian, you want T-line?
The top 8 T.
Top 8 T? Okay.
So a very precise shot. Freeze on the yellow rock. Needs to sit shot.
Sean, drop. Yeah, Sean. Sean, hard. Hard, Sean.
Call mate.
Top T.
Whoa,
Yeah. Whoa.
They're sweeping this one to get by the guard, but it will wreck. I mean, where they left it, it actually blocks off the draw now for Newfoundland Labrador.
I guess Newfoundland Labrador they have a tap over on the right-hand side of the sheet.
Or if they really need to go for their 3, there is a run double available.
Yes.
Very low percentage to make, but like you said off the top of this end, Morris, that maybe you just really need to go for it.
Yep.
I like getting 2. 2 is okay here.
I mean, at this point, you do need 3
Desperate
to get
times
back
call
in
for
it.
desperate measures.
Exactly.
Just send it back. It should be fine. That's, I don't like that. It's gonna curl a lot.
You come to the red rock you see at the biting the back 8. They tend to be, because there's not a lot of room to make a draw, and you'd have to ask the team on the sheet beside you to hold the broom. They're electing to play a little bit of weight and just come to the red rock to get their deuce.
Probably still just draw.
And I'm quite sure there has not been a rock out here this game.
So I throw like.
Absolutely not. Not this far. So that's definitely a factor to consider. Your last rock in N6, Team Newfoundland Labrador playing the tap for the deuce.
Flight. Top 8.
Oh shit.
Really out. Flight.
Go for a draw. No, wait, whoa. Yeah. Hard.
It's like they're changing plans, playing the tap, but it will not be enough. Will be a single for Newfoundland Labrador and handshakes. So that will go on a board as Northwest Territories with a 7-3 win over Newfoundland Labrador 2. On behalf of myself, Danielle Inglis, my co-host Morris Wilson, and our entire crew here at the Oakville Curling Club, hope you'll join us for this evening's draw at 5:45, where Northern Ontario 2 faced off against New Brunswick 1. Meantime,
Thank you, Danielle. Pleasure working with you again.
have a good afternoon.